Welcome back to my channel. Today we will learn about the issue that has taken center stage in The Bold and the Beautiful, capturing the hearts of fans and sending emotional shockwaves through the Forrester, Logan, and Spencer families. What began as a heartbreaking goodbye turned into something much more powerful, an unexpected legacy, a test of strength, and a mother's fight to honor the man she lost. In one of the most emotional scenes in recent memory, Hope Logan and Liam Spencer shared a deeply vulnerable conversation that would change everything. Liam had recently been diagnosed with a terminal illness, a secret he tried to keep hidden from most of the people in his life. But Steffi, ever concerned and protective, had found out and eventually revealed the truth. Liam initially felt betrayed by her decision to expose something so personal. However, Hope, calm, empathetic, and loving, took a different stance. In a tear-filled exchange, she gently urged Liam to understand that Steffi's actions weren't meant to hurt him. Instead, she wanted him to have the support of those who loved him. "You shouldn't push people away," Hope said, holding Liam's hand tightly. "We all want to be there for you. You don't have to carry this alone." Her words struck a chord. For all of Liam's confusion, anger, and despair, Hope's unwavering compassion reminded him of who she truly was. The one person who had always seen the best in him, even at his lowest. In that moment, a rush of emotion overtook them both. It wasn't planned, it wasn't rational, it was real. They kissed. A tender, passionate kiss filled with longing, grief, and connection. And that night, they made love, both believing it was their final goodbye. Liam's death and Hope's discovery. Weeks passed. Liam's condition worsened. He faced his illness with quiet dignity, surrounded by his loved ones. His final days were spent in peace, and Hope was by his side until the very end. When he took his last breath, she held him close, whispering promises that she would remember him always and raise their daughter Beth to know how deeply he had loved her. The funeral was private but emotional. Steffi, Wyatt, Brooke, Bill, and others gathered to honor a man whose life had been full of complications but also full of heart. There wasn't a dry eye in the room. After the funeral, Hope tried to return to normal life, but the pain was overwhelming. She threw herself into work, into being a mother to Beth. But something wasn't right. She felt exhausted. Her body was off. At first, she thought it was just grief. But when she missed a cycle, she took a pregnancy test, positive. Hope stared at the result in stunned silence. She was pregnant. With Liam's child. A gift from Liam. The news hit her like a wave, shocking, overwhelming, but oddly comforting. In that moment, she felt Liam's presence more than ever. It was as if this baby had been meant to come into the world, one final gift from Liam before he left. But not everyone shared her joy. When Hope told her mother, Brooke, the reaction was far from warm. Brooke was stunned and immediately went into protective mode. "Raising a child alone is hard, Hope. You're still grieving. Do you really want to bring another child into this mess?" Hope stood her ground. She believed this baby wasn't a mistake, it was part of something bigger. A piece of Liam that would live on. "I can do this, Mom," she said firmly. "I will do this." Facing the future alone. As the pregnancy progressed, Hope found strength she didn't know she had. She went to every doctor's appointment alone, made decisions without a partner, and began preparing Beth for the idea of a baby brother or sister. It wasn't easy. She had breakdowns, sleepless nights, and moments where the grief returned in full force. But every time she felt the baby kick, she found purpose. Steffi, surprisingly, reached out. Though she and Hope had a long and complicated history, Steffi understood what it meant to raise children alone, and she knew how much Liam had loved both women. "If you ever need anything, just call me," she said one afternoon, stopping by unannounced. It wasn't a friendship, not yet, but it was a beginning. Meanwhile, Thomas kept a close eye on Hope. He had long carried feelings for her, and watching her go through this alone stirred emotions he tried to suppress. He helped where he could, running errands, watching Beth, quietly offering his support. Hope didn't push him away, but she also wasn't ready to let anyone in. The community reacts. News of Hope's pregnancy spread quickly, causing waves across Los Angeles. Bill Spencer was floored. The idea of another grandchild brought him unexpected joy, and he vowed to support Hope financially and emotionally if she allowed him to be part of the child's life. Wyatt, heartbroken over losing Liam, promised to step up as an uncle. Even Ridge, often critical of Hope, admitted he was impressed by her resilience. "She's stronger than I ever gave her credit for," he said to Brooke one evening. But not everyone was so supportive. A group of Liam's business rivals began spreading rumors that Hope was using the pregnancy for sympathy or control over the Spencer legacy. Hope ignored the noise. She had more important things to focus on: her health, her children, and preparing for life as a single mother of two. The birth of a legacy. The day Hope gave birth was bittersweet. She was alone in the hospital room when her water broke. Brooke rushed to her side. So did Thomas, uninvited but insistent. After hours of labor, a baby boy was born, dark hair, quiet eyes, and a calming presence from the start. Hope named him Liam Jr., but affectionately called him Leo. Holding her son in her arms for the first time, she wept, not just for the loss of Liam, but for the miracle of their child. After the birth, something shifted. Brooke softened. She looked at her grandson and saw hope, no pun intended, for the future. "I was wrong," she told Hope. "You're not alone. You never were. And you're going to be an incredible mother to this child." Hope nodded, exhausted but resolute. "Thank you, Mom. I just want him to know how much his father loved him. That's all that matters." Rebuilding life after loss. Hope settled into a new routine. Life as a single mother wasn't easy, but she found balance. She returned to work gradually, launched a new fashion line in Liam's honor, and used her platform to advocate for families dealing with grief and unexpected parenthood. Leo grew quickly and became the light of everyone's life. Beth adored her baby brother and doted on him constantly. Thomas, though still quietly in love with Hope, respected her space. He built a stable friendship with her, hoping that someday she might be ready to love again. One night, as Hope stood on the balcony, watching the stars with Leo in her arms, she whispered to the wind, "I miss you, Liam. But I promise I'll make sure your son grows up knowing who you were." The wind rustled the trees, and for just a moment, she felt as if Liam was there, smiling. The story continues. The Bold and the Beautiful has always thrived on drama, love, and emotional twists, and this story is far from over. As Hope raises Liam's son in a world full of rivals, complicated family ties, and uncertain futures, one thing is certain: she will fight to honor Liam's memory with every ounce of strength she has. And as for what lies ahead? Could Thomas finally win her heart? Will Leo grow up to embody his father's best qualities? And how will the Spencer family adjust to the presence of this new heir? Next, we're diving deep into the intriguing return of Ivy Forrester to The Bold and the Beautiful, a character who once electrified the screen with her captivating blend of allure and cunning. While her comeback earlier this year sent waves of anticipation through the fanbase, many have been left yearning for more as Ivy lingers on the sidelines. In this extended exploration, We'll unpack why Ivy's underutilization is a missed opportunity, imagine thrilling new story arcs for her, and paint a vivid picture of how she could once again become the heart of drama in Los Angeles's most tumultuous families. Ivy Forrester's reappearance on the show was nothing short of a nostalgic triumph for longtime viewers who remember her as a dynamic force of nature. With her signature blend of charm and calculated mischief, she was the kind of character who could light up any scene, whether she was wooing a love interest or plotting a strategic takedown. Fans had high hopes that her return would herald a storm of fresh conflicts and steamy romances. However, instead of capitalizing on her fiery persona, the writers have puzzlingly confined Ivy to mere cameo-like appearances, barely scratching the surface of what she could offer. It's as if a prized race car is being kept in the garage, gathering dust while the racetrack awaits its roar. Imagine the missed fireworks if Ivy were to step back into the spotlight. Her mere presence could ignite long-dormant feuds and spark unexpected alliances, breathing new life into the show's intricate web of relationships. Let's consider one tantalizing possibility: Ivy inserting herself into Liam Spencer's current life-or-death predicament. Picture this: she returns, unaware of the gravity of Liam's situation, her old feelings for him bubbling to the surface like champagne on New Year's Eve. In a moment of impulsive passion, Ivy could attempt to reignite their past romance, her words dripping with seductive nostalgia as she recalls their once electric connection. Unbeknownst to her, Liam's health hangs by a thread, making her advances a heartbreaking mix of irony and drama. This storyline wouldn't just showcase Ivy's signature recklessness, it would also peel back layers of vulnerability as she grapples with the unintended consequences of her actions. Perhaps she overhears a hushed hospital conversation about Liam's condition, her face crumpling with guilt as she realizes the depth of his struggle. Such a plotline would not only highlight Ivy's emotional range but also remind viewers of her capacity to be both a disruptor and a deeply human character caught in her own web of desires. Another avenue for Ivy's resurgence could be a long-overdue clash with Steffi Forrester, a rivalry that has simmered beneath the surface for years. What if Ivy, fueled by past grievances over business deals and broken hearts, decides to target Steffi's personal life by setting her sights on Finn? Envision Ivy weaving herself into Finn's orbit with calculated charm, attending charity galas at Forrester Creations where she accidentally bumps into him, her laughter a little too warm, her touches lingering just a second too long. She could plant seeds of doubt in Finn's mind about his relationship with Steffi, all while maintaining a facade of innocent friendliness. This slow-burn manipulation would not only test Steffi's patience but also put Finn in an agonizing position, torn between loyalty and temptation. Ivy's knack for playing mind games could turn this into a chess match of emotions, with Steffi forced to confront whether her trust in Finn is as unshakable as she believes. Adding this layer of personal vendetta to Ivy's arc would re-establish her as a formidable antagonist, her every smile hiding a dagger of intent. Beyond romantic entanglements, Ivy's disruptive potential could extend to the budding dynamics between other characters, such as Daphne Rose and Hope Logan. Imagine Ivy stepping into the fashion world chaos at Forrester Creations, where tensions are already high. With a sly wink and a honeyed tone, she could charm Carter Walton, who's often caught in the crossfire of personal and professional loyalties. Picture a late-night work session where Ivy, under the guise of discussing a new jewelry line, leans in close to Carter, her whispered ideas laced with double meanings. Her goal? To sow discord between Daphne and Hope by making each question Carter's intentions, turning a simple collaboration into a battlefield of jealousy and mistrust. Ivy's ability to play the innocent while pulling strings behind the scenes would amplify the drama, making her a puppet master in a game of corporate and personal intrigue. This subplot could also delve into Ivy's own ambitions. Perhaps she's angling for a bigger stake in the company, using seduction as her weapon to climb the ranks. What truly sets Ivy apart, however, is her chameleon-like ability to shift between sweetness and ruthlessness, a duality that makes her one of the show's most unpredictable characters. One moment, she might be offering a tearful apology to a wronged friend, her eyes brimming with seemingly genuine remorse. The next, she's coolly plotting their downfall over a glass of Chardonnay in her sleek penthouse. This complexity is a goldmine for storytelling, yet the show has played it safe, relegating her to background banter instead of unleashing her as the wild card she was born to be. Fans crave the Ivy who can walk into a room and instantly shift its energy, whether she's playing the heartbroken lover, the scheming rival, or the unexpected ally. Why not let her orchestrate a major event, like a glamorous Forrester gala, only to use it as a stage for a shocking revelation that turns family loyalties upside down? Her speech, laced with veiled barbs, could expose a long-buried secret, leaving the audience gasping and the characters scrambling to pick up the pieces. Taking her chaos to the next level, imagine Ivy forging an unlikely partnership with someone equally devious, like Thomas Forrester. The two could form a secret pact, their late-night meetings in dimly lit bars filled with whispered plans to manipulate the Spencer and Logan families for their own gain. Thomas, with his own history of scheming, would be the perfect foil for Ivy's machinations. Picture them strategizing over a chessboard, each move symbolizing a real-life power play. Their alliance could target Liam, feeding off his vulnerabilities with calculated precision, while Ivy uses her insider knowledge of his past to exploit his weaknesses. Alternatively, she might position herself as Liam's secret confidant, offering a sympathetic ear during his crisis, only to twist his confessions into ammunition for her own agenda. This duality, ally by day, adversary by night, would showcase Ivy's strategic brilliance and keep viewers guessing about her true motives. Next, we're delving into the heart-wrenching storyline surrounding Liam Spencer on The Bold and the Beautiful, as well as a peculiar off-screen hiccup faced by his real-life counterpart, Scott Clifton. Liam's battle with a life-threatening condition has gripped fans with suspense, while Scott's recent social media troubles on X have sparked curiosity and concern among his followers. In this expanded piece, we'll explore the emotional depth of Liam's predicament, imagine potential twists in his journey, and dive into the intriguing details of Scott's digital dilemma, complete with inventive scenarios and fresh insights to keep you hooked. Starting with Liam Spencer, the beloved character finds himself at the precipice of a devastating diagnosis: an inoperable brain mass that has cast a dark shadow over his future. The news of his limited life expectancy has left viewers reeling, with many shedding tears as they watch Liam grapple with his mortality. Each scene is charged with raw emotion, whether it's a quiet moment of reflection as he stares out over the Los Angeles skyline or a tearful exchange with loved ones at the Spencer estate, where the weight of his unspoken fears hangs heavy in the air. This storyline has tugged at heartstrings, painting Liam as a man racing against time to make peace with his past and secure a legacy for his children. Yet, as fans of The Bold and the Beautiful know all too well, the soap opera world thrives on the impossible becoming possible. Hope flickers on the horizon. Could a groundbreaking medical trial in Europe, whispered about in a passing conversation at Forrester Creations, offer a lifeline? Or perhaps a long-lost specialist, connected to the Logan family through a buried secret, emerges with a daring experimental treatment. The uncertainty keeps audiences on edge, rooting for a miracle that could turn despair into triumph. Beyond the immediate shock of his condition, Liam's storyline opens doors to profound character exploration that could reshape relationships in unforeseen ways. Imagine Liam, driven by a newfound urgency, deciding to mend broken bridges with those he's wronged over the years. Picture a poignant scene where he sits down with Steffi Forrester under the golden glow of a sunset at the Cliff House, both awkward and vulnerable as they revisit old wounds. His apology, raw and unfiltered, could spark a healing process, transforming their dynamic into one of mutual respect amid shared grief. Alternatively, his illness might ignite a fierce protective streak in Hope Logan, who rallies the family to scour the globe for a cure, her determination clashing with others who urge her to prepare for the worst. What if this search leads to a dramatic confrontation with a shady pharmaceutical tycoon who holds the key to an untested drug, forcing Hope to weigh ethics against love? These layers of desperation and hope could elevate Liam's arc, making his struggle not just a personal battle but a catalyst for seismic shifts among the Forrester, Spencer, and Logan clans. Shifting gears to the real world, Scott Clifton, the talented actor behind Liam, has recently encountered a frustrating snag that's far less dire but equally perplexing. Clifton maintains two distinct profiles on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, each serving a unique window into his multifaceted personality. His primary account, at Clifton's Notes, mirrors the polished, personal vibe of his Instagram, offering glimpses into his life and career with candid posts and charming snapshots from the set. The second, at Theoretical BS, is a haven for deeper musings, dedicated to explorations of philosophy and religion, a digital space where Clifton engages followers in cerebral debates about life's big questions. In a pinned post on his main account, he beckons fans to this alternate realm with a witty invitation: if existential ponderings are your brew, wander over to at Theoretical BS for a sip of my thoughts on faith and philosophy. Join me there. This separation allows Clifton to balance his public persona as an actor with his private passion for intellectual discourse, giving fans a richer understanding of the man behind the character. However, a glitch in this digital duality has recently thrown a wrench into Clifton's online presence. His secondary account, at Theoretical BS, has mysteriously gone offline, suspended for undisclosed violations of X's terms of service. Clifton shared his frustration in a candid post on his main account, revealing that the suspension has lingered for weeks without resolution. "I've appealed the decision, hoping for clarity, but X has remained silent, ignoring my request entirely," he wrote, his words tinged with exasperation. He even reached out to his followers for guidance, asking, "Any advice on navigating this mess?" This plea for help highlights a relatable struggle in the age of social media, where algorithms and policies can abruptly silence voices without explanation. Imagine Clifton, sitting at a cozy coffee shop in LA, scrolling through his phone with a furrowed brow, muttering to himself about the irony of losing a platform meant for debate while playing a character fighting for his very existence. This real-life parallel adds a layer of intrigue, showing how even soap stars face modern-day hurdles in staying connected with their audience.